Hello, everyone, and welcome to our complete Aula Internacional Plus A1 course. If you've never studied Spanish before, don't worry, you're in the right place. We'll go through this book step by step, explaining everything in clear, simple English while practicing real Spanish from the very beginning. This course follows the Aula Internacional Plus textbook, but it doesn't simply read the book. Instead, I'll explain the vocabulary, pronunciation, expressions, and cultural notes that will help you actually understand and remember what you're learning. In Unit 0, we'll start with the basics. By the end of this lesson, you'll know how to greet people, introduce yourself, ask someone's name, ask how someone is doing, and say goodbye naturally in Spanish. Let's begin with one of the most important topics in any language: saludos y despedidas. The word saludos means greetings, and despedidas means goodbyes. The most common greeting in Spanish is hola. It simply means hello, and the nice thing about hola is that you can use it almost any time of the day. Whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, hola always works. If you want to greet someone according to the time of day, Spanish has 3 very common expressions. In the morning, we say buenos días. Buenos días. Literally, buenos means good, and días means days. Good days. Afternoon, buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. And in the evening, or at night, buenas noches. Buenas noches. Besides saying hello, you'll often ask how someone is doing. One very common expression is ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal? It's similar to saying how's it going or how are things. It's informal, used between friends. Another expression is ¿cómo estás? This one simply means how are you? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Now, let's hear all of these greetings together. Hola. Hola. Buenos días. Buenos días. Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Excellent. Now let's look at the other side of every conversation, saying goodbye. The most common goodbye is adiós. Adiós. Hasta luego. Hasta luego, which literally means until later, just like saying see you later. Another common expression is hasta pronto. Hasta pronto, meaning see you soon. And finally, many Spanish speakers simply say ciao. Ciao. You'll hear this very often in countries like Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, and many other parts of Latin America. It means bye. Now, let's listen to all the farewell expressions together. Adiós. Hasta luego. Hasta pronto. Ciao. Perfect. Already, you've learned enough Spanish to greet someone and end a conversation politely. Now that we've learned how to greet someone, the next step is presentarse, or introducing yourself. One of the first questions you'll hear in Spanish is ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? This means, what's your name? To answer, we say me llamo. Literally, this means I call myself, but in natural English, we simply translate it as my name is. For example, me llamo Anderson, or me llamo Giovanna. After introducing yourself, it's polite to ask the other person the same question. Instead of repeating the whole sentence, Spanish often uses a very short expression. ¿Y ¿Y tú? This simply means, and you? Let's hear a complete conversation. Hola. Hola. ¿Cómo te llamas? Me llamo Anderson. ¿Y tú? Me llamo Giovanna. Now that you can greet people and introduce yourself, let's learn another essential topic, los números, or numbers. Let's go through the numbers from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You'll notice that some of these words are quite similar to English or other European languages, while others may be completely new. Don't worry if you can't remember them all immediately. The goal today is simply to become familiar with their pronunciation. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Now, let's move on to another important foundation of Spanish. El alfabeto, the Spanish alphabet. Knowing the alphabet is useful whenever you need to spell your name, understand new vocabulary, or ask someone how a word is written. The Spanish alphabet has 27 letters. It's almost the same as the English alphabet, but there's one extra letter you'll quickly recognize. Ñ. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now, let's learn some classroom vocabulary. In Spanish, we call these las cosas de la clase, which simply means the things in the classroom. These are words you'll hear constantly while studying Spanish, so it's worth learning them early. The chair, la silla. La silla. The table, la mesa. La mesa. Whiteboard, la pizarra. La pizarra. The projector, el proyector. El proyector. The book, el libro. El libro. The sheet of paper, la hoja de papel. La hoja de papel. The trash bin, la papelera. La papelera. The pen, el bolígrafo. El bolígrafo. The backpack, la mochila. La mochila. The tablet, la tableta. La tableta. Computer, el ordenador. El ordenador. The pencil case, el estuche. El estuche. The notebook, el cuaderno. El cuaderno. Notice something interesting. Almost every noun in Spanish has a gender. Some words use el, others use la. We'll study that in much more detail later, but for now, try to learn each noun together with its article. Instead of remembering only mesa, remember la mesa. Instead of only libro, remember el libro. This habit will help your Spanish improve much faster. Now we've reached one of the most useful part of Unit 0. Expresiones útiles en clase. Useful classroom expressions. These are the phrases you'll use whenever you don't understand something. ¿Cómo se dice esto en español? How do you say this in Spanish? ¿Cómo se dice esto en español? Imagine you're pointing to an object, or you know the word in English but not in Spanish. This is the perfect question to ask. Another useful expression is, ¿qué significa? What does mean? ¿Qué significa ordenador? If you're unsure how to pronounce a word, ask, ¿cómo se pronuncia? How do you pronounce? ¿Cómo se pronuncia pizarra? And if you're writing something and don't know the spelling, ask, ¿cómo se escribe? How do you spell? ¿Cómo se escribe ordenador? Sometimes Spanish has letters that sound similar, so you may hear people ask, ¿con B o con V? With B or with V? This is a very common question because the letters B and V can be confusing for learners, and even for native speakers when spelling words aloud. Sometimes the speaker speaks too quickly. In that case, you can politely say, ¿Puedes hablar más despacio, por favor? Can you speak more slowly, please? ¿Puedes hablar más despacio, por favor? Or maybe the voice is too quiet. Then you can ask, ¿Puedes hablar más alto, por favor? Can you speak a little louder, please? ¿Puedes hablar más alto, por favor? If you didn't hear something, simply say, ¿Puedes repetir, por favor? Could you repeat that, please? ¿Puedes repetir, por favor? Or perhaps you didn't catch the last sentence. You can ask, ¿Cómo dices? What did you say? ¿Cómo dices? Finally, imagine you know a word in English, but don't know it in Spanish. For example, ¿Cómo se dice thank you in español? How do you say thank you in Spanish? The answer would be gracias. These expressions may seem simple, but they're incredibly powerful. Congratulations! You've just completed Unidad Cero, or Unit 0. That's a fantastic start. In the next lesson, we'll continue building your Spanish step by step. If you enjoyed this lesson and want to follow the complete course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next lesson. ¡Hasta luego!